All right, hello everybody. So let's just take a look at the opportunities today and what we can learn from these opportunities because they repeat every day. Um, so the first is the ES. So ES broke this level 56.25 when it went to 56.10.75, and I knew that that there was going to be buying activity. So I mean, that's what happened. You had buying activity come in out of nowhere. There's the breakout right there. And you had the change of behavior. Biggest in 25 waves, 3.9 times average up volume. So it's clearly someone's buying the break, right? It's a no-brainer. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to, try to buy a pullback. But the problem is the damn thing didn't pull back. It didn't even test the breakout. So that's the problem. So maybe you get it on spring or respring here, but this is a very challenging trade. I hate these trades because they don't pull back, and if you don't have your stop in the right location, you're going to get stopped out. So so after this rally, the idea is to buy the spring. And it kept on going up until here it climaxed, pulled back, and then when it broke this level, selling came in. You see very clearly 2.4 times average down volume. It's only bigger than the last two down waves, but it's a lot of volume. I mean, you see big red. And the same problem because it's not giving you a pullback. See that? So if it's not giving you a pullback, it's not tradable. You cannot, if it's not at least 50%, there's too much maneuvering to take out stops. So to me, this is not tradable because it didn't pull back enough. And then the market basically goes down, after which you have all this volatility, which is also not tradable. Just stay away from it. There's no point in trying to trade this. All right. Like once you're in this area, I mean, initially you see the selling, but then you have all this volatility, and it's just not tradable. Crude actually had a nice trade, a very nice trade. I wish it pulled back some more, but right here, I knew that this was initial buying. Right there, that's buying. That's 2.1 times average up volume and biggest in 12 up waves. Does a spring, and 2.6 times average up volume, biggest in 14 up waves. Low volume pullback and goes. So there's nothing really more to say. This is a good trade. So you see that this trade came when 70.68 was taken, when price went to 70.61, 7 ticks below, and buyers came in. This was enough for me to identify that there's buying activity, and then they just had a spring, and then this change of behavior, and it's game over. Let's go up. So this happens all the time, guys. Different time frames and whatever. You just have to understand how markets work. So and the thing is, you had this big rally, right? You have this big rally. So obviously it's going to come back and pull back, test some support level, right? So this move was quite nice. Gold is too confusing. When it went here, there was selling activity. Then it did it again here. So it's just chop, chop, chop. It's not tradable. Or you have to just kind of understand where to put the stops. I mean, right now it's just weird, right? But the initially the buying activity came here, then you had selling activity, then they bought the break. So it's just chop, chop, chop. And when markets do this, you better know how to get in. It's a skill. You see this? This is the initial selling, but this is at very early time in the day. So you obviously don't take a trade because there's no liquidity, no people, nothing moving at that time. Here we had a shot of the market turning right here, where it was 2.2 times average down volume. And it seems like it was lack of demand right here. But it was bought. And after it was bought, just went crazy. Let's take a look at the euro. This is the only problem is it's too late at too late at night, you know. But I mean, I love it when they do this. It goes to a level, and you have a lack of supply pushing price up. The LOD I wouldn't consider it because it's not at a level of resistance. The LOS I would, which is lack of supply, I would consider it because it's at support. Supply is weak at support. That means it's not going to break down because there's no juice. So that means the probability of someone buying and turning it around increases. So anytime it goes to support, I want to see zilch, no volume. Because you need volume to break levels. And if you're at a level and there's no volume, how are you going to break it? So that's the logic. And then finally, natural gas. It's just pullback. This area, I don't really see any opportunity. I can't make heads or tails of this. Oh, there was something, but it was at a weird time, so maybe some covering. It's right there. That spike in volume, it's at a weird time in the night, you can't trade it. And then finally, copper, I don't know what's going on with this. All right, so just key takeaways is when price goes to support, look at the trend of the volume. When price goes to resistance, look at the trend of the volume. If the trend of the volume is declining, there is a high chance of a turning point at either support or resistance, because the probability of price breaking through those levels diminishes greatly. So that's the key takeaway. And second is, don't trade high volatility. What you want to do is just get in early part of the day and just shut down because later part of the day is just not tradable. There's no point looking at the screen. You want to just trade early markets that open, early. and just be done with it. Like the real trade today was actually, the easy trade today was actually in crude. That was the very sensible trade. All right, folks. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.